All right, now we can start because I was copying the YouTube link here and pasting on Instagram, YouTube. Okay, confirming. And let's go. So while I am preparing myself to my next session, because today I didn't have the time, I'm going to talk a little bit about the unblocking your voice. And clearly, guys, is to maybe explain to you guys some things I have been urging to speak out loud, right? So you guys understand English, but you still freeze when it's time to speak. Why? Why does this happen? Right? So in this unblocking your voice immersion, I am going to explore with you guys a little bit of this immersive class and actually a master class that are two ways of reaching unblocking your voice. Both are on Hotmart, right? So it's your English and your time to shine. And in this live experience, we're going to be opened, right, to learn new things and maybe learn new, not new vocabulary or new grammar, but you don't need to answer to things out loud, for example, right? Então, eu acho que a gente precisa pensar assim, se alguém te perguntar alguma coisa em inglês, agora, agorinha, como você se sentiria? Ready, nervous, anxious, excited, right? Would you immediately start thinking about grammar? Would you start translating to answer to it first? Or maybe would you know exactly what do you want to say, but you wouldn't know how to start? Se você reconheceu algumas dessas opções aí, e se você se reconhece dentro dessas situações, você pode ficar aqui comigo. Hoje, a gente não vai falar sobre o quanto de inglês você sabe, mas a gente vai falar sobre o que acontece com o inglês que você já sabe quando você precisa usar ele. Right? So that's a completely different conversation. And if you guys are here on Instagram, we are online on YouTube, and that's why I'm looking straight to this camera because live is recorded, and we're going to share this with you guys later on. All right. First of all, guys, who am I? I'm a linguist, I'm a translator, I'm a bilingual educator and founder of Unblocking Minds. I've been working with English and languages, right? Because there is un poco de español también, but in communication with languages for more than 23 years. And during these years, I've worked with teenagers, doctors, executives, lawyers, teachers, bilingual teachers, business owners, travelers, very different people. But I started noticing something very interesting here. Some of my students had excellent English, the English that they would communicate, not perfectly because we're not perfect, but they had excellent English. They could understand me, they could read, they could watch a movie, for example, even with the subtitles in English. They could understand a meeting, but then somebody suddenly asked, "So, what's your opinion?" And then something happened. Something just blocked their minds, but not because English became smaller. But sometimes Their voice became smaller because they were not prepared to talk, right? So this became a question in my mind and behind my work. Why can some know English and still struggle to use their voice in English? Então, como que uma pessoa pode saber inglês, mas ao mesmo tempo ela luta para usar a voz dela em inglês, para ter esse bilinguismo, para fazer esse bilinguismo, esse code switching que a gente fala, né? So it's important for us to understand that there is not an additional grammar topic here. All right. Because this is where unblocking your voice begins. It's not a traditional English class, and it's not about teaching you hundreds of new words or of new rules, right? It's a communication experience, just as we are doing here right now. It's an immersion. We work with English that you already know, that you already have and explored, right? And we manage how to use it when you are exposed to it. So when you need to present an idea, answer an unexpected question, to tell a story, to disagree, agree, explain something, to make someone laugh, to recover after making a mistake. How do you recover after forgetting a word? Or how do you keep on speaking when you forget a word? You can simply say, oh, this is what I think, right? We work with three main ideas here with presence, like, can I stay present when I'm nervous? Voice, where I'm going to ask, can I organize and express what I really want to say? And third is impact. Can the other person understand not only my words, but my intention, my feelings? So, presence, voice, and impact. That's the heart of this experience. The recorded immersion and the live immersion. They are going to make you think and make you relax and make you raise your voice, right? Who is it for, guys? Now, maybe you were wondering, Miss, is it for me? Well, let's find it out, right? I'm going to say 5 sentences. Count how many sound like you, all right? And you too. Number 1, I understand more English than I speak. Number 2, I know what I want to say, but I think too much before saying it. Number 3, my English changes when I'm nervous. Number 4, I'm afraid of making mistakes in front of other people. And number 5, I want to sound more natural, but I don't want to lose my identity. How many? How many did you get related to? 1, 3, all 5, maybe, right? Put your number in the chat if you recognize yourself. You probably don't need to start English again. You may need to change the way you experience the English you already have. I'm always talking about this. There's a pyramid between your English, my English, and where you want to go, where you want to achieve, right? So, what happens inside unblocking your voice? You will be expected to speak, to think, to laugh, and yes, expect to feel a little uncomfortable sometimes because spontaneity can't be developed if everything is prepared. I'm going to repeat that. Spontaneity cannot be developed if everything is prepared. All right. So explore things like this: pronunciation for clarity, breathing and speaking, storytelling, organizing your ideas, intentional pauses. You got to pause when you are speaking, recovery techniques, unexpected questions, and spontaneous communication. I don't want you guys to leave this immersion thinking, oh, I learned a lot about communication. I want you guys to live thinking, I communicated. There's a big difference. There's a big difference in between communicating and I communicated. Do you know what I mean? Right. So let's find out who is here with me, right? Instead of explaining the methodology here for 10 minutes, 6 minutes, or whatever, it's good for you guys to understand by experiencing it. Okay? Grab your phone, grab a piece of paper, or you can simply do this with me here. I'm going to give you guys an experience here. This is inspired by my guide, Respire e Fale Desbloqueie. Right? Are you ready? First, put both feet on the floor if you can, barefoot or not. Pode colocar descalços, ou se não tiver como, não tem problema. Os dois pés no chão. Relax your shoulders. You see? I was like, all blocked. Relax your shoulders. Don't think about English yet. You are living this with me right here. Just breathe in and breathe out with your nose, not with your mouth. And do it again. Look at the camera. I'm going to give you a question. Look at the camera. And you guys here, look at the camera. What is something you were proud of right now? Não precisa responder, pensa. O que é alguma coisa aí que você pensa que está orgulhoso de si ou orgulhosa de si agora? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now you speak. You have 30 seconds to speak. Go. There you go. Look, here's the important part. Maybe you stopped. Maybe you forgot a word. Maybe you made a grammar mistake. Maybe your answer wasn't beautiful. Did communication still happen? Probably yes. Right? Now we're going to do it again. But this time I'm giving you 3 rescue phrases. 3 rescue phrases. Repeat after me. Let me think for a second. Again. Let me think for a second. Next. What I'm trying to say is, again, what I'm trying to say is, and one more, guys. Let me put it in another way. Let me put it another way. All right? Great. Now I'm going to ask you another question. And you guys here too, right? What is something you're learning about yourself right now? What is something you're learning about yourself right now? 5 seconds of silence. Speak. And if you get stuck, don't stop. Use the rescue phrases. Let me think for a second. Oh, what I'm trying to say is, let me put it another way. This is for you guys to answer, to communicate, right? Now that we notice what we just did, I didn't teach you a new verb tense here. I didn't give you guys 20 vocabulary words, but something may have changed here. You became aware of, conscious of your breathing, of your silence, of your thinking, of your voice, and your ability to recover. That's what I mean by bilingual awareness. It's not, do I know English? Do you know English? But it's also what happens to me when I use English. And this is where the awareness changes the way we learn, right? A pronunciation spoiler here for you guys. Hey guys, I'm online on YouTube. Let's do it. Pronunciation doesn't mean let's eliminate your accent, porque ninguém vai tirar o seu sotaque de você. Não, nunca. A não ser que você seja que nem minha amiga Raíssa, que mora nos Estados Unidos, sei lá, 20 e tantos anos. Your accent carries identity. We work on pronunciation to improve your clarity, your rhythm, your stress, right? Thoughts, your intention. Listen, I didn't say she stole the money. No, I didn't say she stole the money. Or I didn't say she stole the money. Or even, I didn't say she stole the money. Same words, different message. That's communication. I just had an insight here right now. Peraí que eu tive um insight agora. Same phrase. Different intonations. I'm going to record one video for this because this is extremely important, guys. Right? That's communication. That's why pronunciation is much bigger than repeating sounds, right? Now, if you've been watching this live and thinking, wait, I understood most part of it. I understood what you said. The importance information, and this is good, okay? But the important information is you probably already have English inside you. The question now is, how much access do you have to that English that when you really need it, that you already know, right? I'm going to repeat that. How much access do you have to that English when you really need it? That's what we are going to explore in Unblocking Your Voice live experience and the recorded version too, because you got one moment together with me alive to, I don't know, deeply communicate and to put everything from the classes, the recorded classes, to our live session. All right. If you choose the live experience, you're going to have 2-hour immersive experience with me, including a short 10-minute break, right? We're going to work with real communication, with presence, pronunciation, spontaneity, storytelling, recovery, and confidence, right? Not confidence as, oh, I'm nervous, but confidence as, even when I'm nervous, I can continue, right? And before I leave here, there is a final challenge for you guys. Next time you speak English, what do you want to do? So put your answers in your head, in the chat, or in a piece of paper. The next time I speak English, I want to maybe trust myself, speak more slowly, stop apologizing. This is extremely important too. Participate, have fun, continue. Whatever your answer is, that's where your next step begins. Okay? If you understood this live, don't underestimate that. You understood ideas, you understood humor, you followed the instructions, you reflected, you participated, and that's English. Now, imagine what can happen when we intentionally work on the voice behind that English, right? I'm Miss Gaspar, and this is Unblocking Your Voice. You don't need perfect English to have something worth saying. You need to give your voice permission to participate, to breathe, speak, unblock. I'll see you inside, right? See you soon.